in the next several months. But that may have been the last shot Michael Jordan will ever take in the NBA.
Hey guys, this is Dominique Wilkins.
Hey, this is Sean Kemp.
This is Gary Payton.
Hey, this is Pau Gasol.
NBA fans, what's up? This is Vince Carter here.
Hey, what's up? This is Matt Barnes. If you're an old school NBA fan like I am, make sure you check out the Basketball Time Machine with my man Sean David.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Basketball Time Machine. My name is Sean David. Thanks for tuning in. Let's talk some NBA basketball. Now you guys know I'm a huge Michael Jordan fan, and because of all the NBA legends comment on Michael Jordan videos, and they're all about like 10 minutes, I thought, okay, you know what? Let me, because this channel is like, I think we're going into the 6th year now or 7th year. It's time for a very, very long Michael Jordan video. So in today's episode, we're going to take a look at countless Michael Jordan stories. Some newer ones, some classics, a nice mix. And at the end of the video, I will also give you some personal thoughts on Michael Jordan. Really personal thoughts. And yeah, I would say before we start with the episodes, if you like the content, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, the whole package. And I would say, let's get right down into it. Now, if you're a 90s NBA fan, obviously you know Dan Patrick, and he has his own show, The Dan Patrick Show, and it's so funny, like every time he has a legend on the show from the 80s or 90s, he always asks them about Michael Jordan stories, and thankfully so, because he's a big contribution to all the material that I was able to get over the past couple of years. So let's take a look at some Dan Patrick stories.
Did you have a rivalry with Jordan when it came to scoring? I know there was this slam dunk contest, but did you feel like you were every bit as good, if not better, than Jordan?
Oh, man, we had plenty of rivalries. You know, Michael, all the guys I played against, probably the most fun guy to play against is Michael Jordan, man. Because he raised your level of play, intensity.
Wait, and so fun? I've never heard somebody describe playing against Jordan as fun, Neek.
It was fun. What I mean by that is that I was excited to play against him. So it was fun to go against a great player. Like, of course, the competitive level was a whole different level because we were very competitive. We wanted to kick each other's butt. There's no question about that. And so we had some fierce games that we played against each other throughout our career. We, against one another in our careers, we averaged 30 over 30 a game against each other in our career. And so when I say fun, that's the atmosphere. That's what basketball is about, to play against somebody like that.
I don't remember you talking when you played. Did Michael talk?
I didn't talk much. You know, it's certain times that you talk. You know, Mike might get under your skin. You know, he might say a little bit, but he wasn't a big time trash talker. He didn't have to be. But if he talked trash, you know, it was try to get in your head or somebody he didn't like. So, but other than that, nah, he didn't talk a lot.
Does LeBron have to do something, or can he do something where you would go, now I would look at him as the best player?
No, I think he certainly, you know, just off the cuff, he's certainly the top 5 of all time. But playing against him and MJ, I think for me, it's MJ all day long, only because how I played against him, and you know, MJ just had everything, you know, from mid-range to 3-point to post-up game, and he could score and dominate in each position.
Was he mean to you?
No, he wasn't. He actually killed me slowly, and yeah, he would comment to the coach, he's actually doing a great job out here, and meanwhile he's scoring at 45.
Wait, he's talking to your coaches?
Yeah, I remember Chris Ford, he's yelling at me. Chris Ford's yelling the whole time. He's like, "Rookie, get in front of him. And I'm fronting him on the post, and MJ just kind of slowly glides across the floor, and he gets the ball and shakes and scores. And I did everything the game plan said, and then there's a breaking action. We're sitting there, and you know, Chris Ford is just down there just hammering me, and MJ was like, he's doing a great job, coach. He's actually doing a great job. Meanwhile, he's got 45 on the books. So I was like, yeah.
Did you think that Mike didn't want you taken out because he had 45 in the books? Like he wanted you to guard him?
No, I honestly believe that he didn't think that anybody could stop him. he can score whenever he wanted to score, wherever he wanted to score. So it didn't matter what I did.
This was the crazy part. That was the same year Michael Jordan came back.
Yeah.
That was when he came back. I think he came back. He was in 20 games into coming back when I got there. And like I said, I played the last 14. And then we end up, the crazy part, because playoffs now and injuries, rosters, it's changed big time. Because back in the day when I played, if you was injured, once you went on that roster,
You stuck.
on the injury list, you stayed on for 5 games.
Yeah.
No matter who got hurt, you got hurt, still can't bring him out for 5 games. Game, second round, we play Michael Jordan there.
Yeah.
That's when Nick Anderson
Stole the ball.
Yeah. To this day, until I saw what was the what you call it?
Last Dance?
Last Dance, I did not know Nick Anderson said
He wasn't the same.
45 is not 23. Oh Lord, I would have said, man, y'all, you don't shut the What is you doing? You don't get this man no field. What did you do? So when I saw that, I was like, oh my God. I say, so game
All that
2.
time you never knew
No,
that?
never knew it. Never knew it. Because I was newcomer still.
Yeah.
So game 2, never forget. I say, I was always a Michael Jordan fan. Game 2, he comes out, keeps his top on, got his pants off, shorts on, and then they do the announcement.
Took that shit out, had that 23 on.
They did the announcement. He said, "Wearing number 45, Michael Jordan." Yeah, crowd go crazy. You know, we at home, but it sounded like we in Chicago because of him. So he kept his top on. Boy, both teams broke out of the huddles. Coming to the court, that motherfucker took out that damn thing. I saw 2-3. I said, "Oh Lord, we in trouble." Superman's in the building, back cat, whatever you want to call him, Jesus. We in trouble tonight. So they end up winning game. They won game 2.
Yeah.
Oh Lord! I saw that 2-3. I was like, "Ooh!"
Like, time out. This is what I want to know, because you know how we all know how it is in the league, and especially in that position, like where you like, I ain't playing like. What was the chatter at the end of the bench? Like, oh shit!
I don't know. I just know I was excited. I don't know what they were saying.
I'm ready to watch this shit.
Because I was sitting there like, I ain't got to guard him. Like, y'all got to guard him. Good luck.
I'm about to see some shit.
Remember Bernie Mac saying, "You're doing a good job. Keep up the good luck. Good luck." So they end up beating us.
Yeah.
I know how we felt playing against Jordan. Like, Jordan was the most dominant player in our era, and we would talk for hours on the phone watching him play against another team, you know, just admiring him play. But at the same time, it was like there were things that he did in the air that we just couldn't do. You mentioned Jordan. Did you notice his body language?
He's still on alert. He's still on alert, like he's sitting in the film room.
How did you like playing against MJ your rookie year? Shaking in my boots. First time. shaking in the first time I had to guard. I'm like, yo, this. Man, first of all, let me go back. 1997, MJ them in the playoffs. I think they played against the Hawks, right? I'm at the game, playoff game. Bro, I got an opportunity to go in the back by the locker room after the game. So I'm standing back there. I'm 17 years old, kid. I've never been around NBA players like this, or even, you know, I've never been around somebody like MJ. So I'm standing back there, kid, and Pip comes out. All these players start coming out. Mike comes around that corner. Bruh, I ain't gonna lie to you. The man had a glow, bro. I swear, Mike, dog, that shit is real. I believe it. That shit is real.
I got a question. This young generation thinks a certain way. Who is your GOAT basketball?
Here we go.
You know, it's funny that everybody asked that question. And to me, I think Michael Jordan is the best in my era. The way that he played, everything that he brought to the table, not to take anything away from LeBron or Kobe. LeBron is great, but Michael was a killer from day one. He was an assassin from day one. I thought that LeBron had to learn how to be an assassin. He was great now. Like, if if you ask me who would I want to play with, I'm gonna say LeBron
because you want to score.
Yeah, I want to score. I want to score. LeBron is a lot like Magic. He's a facilitator. He knows how to get people the ball, and he became a scorer as he got older. But he's great. But I'm gonna say Michael.
Got a Michael Jordan story for me before we say goodbye?
Yes. During our time with the Knicks, there was no layup rule. And every time someone went to the basket, there was going to be a challenge in some form or fashion, whether it was standing in front of a guy or going to try to meet him. And so Michael Jordan this time was going to the basket, and I decided that, hey, it may be a good idea to try to go over and block his shot again. Unfortunately, that time I got put on a poster and with the fat lip. And then I always ask how many people have that story. So I'm just grateful to have great Michael Jordan stories because that meant that I was there in the building.
So you got a fat lip and he dunked on you?
Yes, he did.
But you know what? Michael doesn't have a Heisman, Charlie.
That is true.
Yeah.
This is how cold MJ is. I'm giving y'all, I've never said this. One dude, this got word around, MJ, we all hanging out afterwards. One street dude come up there, got a bag of $100. MJ, let's gamble. MJ looked at him. Said, I ain't got a lot of time. Slip a coin for it, heads or tails. Dude looked at that $100. I'm good. He thought he was gonna go back and forth with him. MJ ain't got time for that.
100 racks?
He looked and said, let's flip a coin for it, heads or tails. Which one you call it? Right. He looked at that money like you could tell he had all the hood's money. He was like, man, I can't do this. I have no flip. He looked.
But when you look at Jordan up close, when you're watching him with the Dream Team, it felt like that was the coming out party where Larry and Magic had already passed the baton to Mike, and he was the best player in the game and dominating probably those pickup games. What was your first impression when you see Jordan or you're trying to guard him?
My first impression of Jordan and my lasting impression of Jordan is how much effort he put forth on the defensive end. People don't talk about that enough. You get on Facebook and it shows his dunks and his offensive plays, but you got to remember, I think he was first team, all defensive team, 8, 10, 12 years? I mean, people don't stress that enough. And Michael Jordan was the greatest defender also. And look at the effort Kobe Bryant put forth on the defensive end. And that's where the differences are made. The small little things in the game that make a huge difference. Playing defense hard, playing defense the right way.
Amazing defender.
Right.
And Jordan had 40.
Right.
So I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Right. So you hear a lot of people say, well, Mike would average 40, Mike would average 50. In today's game, with the rules the way they are, you played in both eras. How many points do you think Jordan would literally average per game?
Today?
Today.
Shoot. More than James Harden.
James Harden had a season he averaged 36.
More than that, for sure.
Really?
For sure. And I was at the Jordan era.
Yeah.
I was in the LeBron, Kobe.
Yeah.
Dunking, and I was at the tail end.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I played with these guys.
Right.
I've seen all the 3-point balls go
Right.
up. They can't. Jordan, no way. Jordan would average 50.
You believe Jordan would average 50?
If he wanted to.
Right.
Like James Harden wants to average 50. He just can't.
Right.
He got 38.
Right.
Amazing.
Right.
If Jordan wants to average 50, if he was playing his era, I think he averages 50.
It was funny, I was talking to James Worthy, not the name drop on you, Scott,
That's all right.
but I was talking to the name of James Worthy, and he was like, can you believe skinny little Michael is Michael Jordan? And I was like, yeah, because I'd been around since 1982. And to see him become what everybody models themselves after. And I've gone years of saying, he was the best in the 90s, Dr. J, Oscar Robertson. I just had to admit it. I'm not going to get to do this again. He was the greatest basketball player in the NBA history.
Mentality of Kobe versus Michael Jordan in practice at the Olympics. Is there a discrepancy? Like, is there similarities that they sort of attacked when they came in, that practice was a game to them?
No, I think they're probably two of the most similar great players in the history of our game. I mean, and one, they really, they were just super talented, but they were also incredibly prepared. And I don't think anybody was any more competitive than those two guys. So they were that all the time. That was their personality. And when they were on the court and it meant something in practice or in a game, they were all business. They wanted to be great, not good.
The crazy thing is, if you compare Michael Jordan to LeBron James and you hear NBA legends talking about LeBron and you hear NBA legends talking about Jordan, even if you're not a Michael Jordan fan, and this is just my personal opinion, but the fear that people mention when they talk about Michael Jordan, I never heard that of any legend talking about LeBron James. They all say that he's great, he's super smart and all this kind of things, which I totally give him. But nobody was afraid of LeBron. You have the feeling that people were calling in sick when they had to play against MJ. And I actually know from some players that I spoke to that this was actually a real thing. Some players did that, just like Ronnie Cycli had the Shakitis virus, so to speak. Anyway, that is always something that I always found very interesting, the fear factor about Michael Jordan. But hey, let's listen to more stories.
How effective would Jordan's mid-range game be in this era of basketball?
Jordan's mid-range in this era? Man, let me tell you something. Players always make the adjustment. He averaged 30, 32, 35. Man, come on. Jordan would average more points. And in an era where we shot more threes, who can forget that memorable finals game when Jordan made, 5, 6, 7 threes against the Trailblazers and gave them this? I mean, people act like Jordan couldn't shoot threes. He would destroy the league now. I mean, he would be setting all-time records. There'll probably be a season he averaged 40 in this era, especially the way he got to the line. His mid-range will be most effective.
One game that, ironically, this may sound a little bit odd, but it's probably more than any other game. That's the game I look forward to the most. Because you knew that night you had to be at your absolute best. And so if there's something, anything, a matchup or whatever, that's going to bring out the best in you, if you're a true competitor, that's what you really want. And so for me, it was the one game I look forward to more than any other game to play against him, because he was everything that you just described with LeBron. I was listening to you. Yeah. That's about the way it is. Yeah, like any slip up, any lull, any mistake that's made, you're gonna exploit it. You're gonna take advantage of it. So you had to be so keenly locked in, game plan, here's what we're doing, here's where I need to be. And you would be furious if somebody didn't rotate they were supposed to, because you knew, look, I'm trusting that you're gonna be there. And so, because if you're not there, dude's about to do some, he's about to do something, real freaky here.
I mean, you witnessed it.
Yeah, I saw it. I did. But I'm just like, man, when people say he averaged 40, 45, I'm like 50. I'm like, man, do y'all know how many points that is?
Yeah, winner takes ball.
Winner take out.
Winner takes ball.
Okay.
No, that one. So why would it never happen?
Because Michael Jordan was all defensive first team 9 times.
Okay.
LeBron James was 5 times.
Okay.
Michael Jordan led the league.
That's longevity.
I'm going to answer your question.
Okay.
So Michael Jordan led the league in scoring 10 times.
Okay.
10. LeBron James led the league in scoring once.
Okay.
So I'm talking about a guy who's been the best offensive player and the best defensive player.
So it'll be Magic and the Lakers, Michael and the Bulls. It is a marquee get-together.
Michael against Magic. This is my first time to the finals. Hopefully we can win, but it's going to be challenging.
Here's Jordan over Scott. The look away to Livingston. Jordan. Oh, a spectacular move by Michael Jordan. That's 13 consecutive field goals.
The tongue is out. Something bad about to happen to the Lakers. Let me change up
and entertain a little bit right now. Woo!
We're down to 2 minutes left in overtime. The spin by Jordan and hits on the reverse. Chicago Bulls have returned the favor, beating the Lakers at the Forum. Jordan. Yes, it counts.
It's too late under the basket with Jordan attacking the way he does.
Coming up on 2 minutes. Remaining in this first quarter, Jordan off the steal. Final seconds, Magic's three-point attempt blocked. Pippen comes away with it. And the Chicago Bulls have won their first ever NBA championship. And Michael Jordan has answered a couple of questions. There have been doubters over the years whether a team led by Jordan could win a championship.
Anyone who ever questioned whether Michael Jordan was willing to give up and sacrifice for a championship was completely wrong.
Portland and Chicago. They were the favorites in November, and now they meet in June. For the Bulls, back-to-back titles would certify their greatness and earn them a place in the NBA's pantheon of all-time best teams.
The Bulls only 2 of 11 from the field. Jordan again from three-point land. Shot clock down to 5. Here's Pippen setting up Jordan wide open for another three. Blazers get back. Pippen back for Jordan again for 3. Jordan for 3. That's his 4th three-point field goal. Jordan for 3. Yes! That is an NBA Finals record. 5 three-pointers in a half. The steal by Pippen. And Jordan. 32 for Jordan. Here's Jordan for 3. Yes! Did you see that look? Michael indicating he can't believe it.
And just let us know that, hey, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling good. It's my game. I love it. I love it.
Here's Kashi for 3. Paxson with the rebound. Time running down. The Chicago Bulls have won the NBA championship for the 2nd straight season.
Welcome to the NBA Finals. In the case of the Chicago Bulls, it's welcome back for the 3rd year in a row. They seek, as you know, to become only the 3rd team to win 3 NBA championships in succession.
Chambers blocked from behind by Jordan. Bulls have hit 6 of the last. What a pass! Jordan for Grant.
Michael with eyes all over the place, sees the entire floor. Well, he certainly elevates his game here as he finishes with the right hand.
Grant with the block. Jordan around Marley. Jordan all the way! Yes!
He's going to dunk on 2 guys. You got to get to Michael sooner. You know he's going to take off from there, elevate, and keep flying to the front of the rim.
There is a 7-second disparity between the shot clock and the game clock. Jordan, yes! And it counts!
It would have been better for Charles to foul him all the way than halfway foul.
And Michael Jordan with 55 points has tied Rick Barry for the 2nd highest total in an NBA Finals game. Pitches back to Frank Johnson. Rebounded by Michael Jordan. Now Frank Johnson, not the man that the Suns would have wanted to take that shot, and Jordan was able to go the distance.
They want Michael to get a full head of steam, try to keep him in the middle of the floor.
Well, Pippen got the step. Here's Paxson for 3. Yes! The Bulls take a 1-point lead, and Phoenix calls for time. It's all over. The Chicago Bulls have made it 3 straight.
Having played against him at the time, how good was Michael Jordan on the Washington Wizards?
Pump fake Jordan?
The very same.
Man, pump fake Jordan was still lethal. Man, I thought I was one of them, you know, I remember my first time playing against this. I didn't get the luxury of playing. I got in the league in '98, but it became a lockout and he retired. So I was so distraught. You know what I'm saying? And she got a chance to play against him. You know what I'm saying? When they was winning championships, and she got his experience was gonna be different. But I remember for me, I got a chance to play against the Washington Wizards, Jordan, for the first time, and I was stoked. I was so excited and happy. And I think we ended up beating them? We might have beat them.
Mm-hmm. We beat them in Chicago.
And he didn't have the best game, but, I remember the first time I was on the island with him, I was just so excited. And, he kind of got an angle on me, and he got the pump fake of me and get into his shot. And we still had 20-something on us, and I was just saying to myself, man, 87 Jordan was probably so different than 2000, and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think it might have been 2001, 2002 Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
You just couldn't imagine. So I was just like, man, but I was just thankful to play against him. But he wasn't as fast, but he knew how to get to his spot, and he was so deceptive, and he just knew angles, and he still killed us or whatever. But I can only imagine playing against the 90s Jordan when he was really had that pop and had that athleticism. It would probably been totally different.
Oh, it damn sure was. I did both. And so it damn sure was, in that 95 year, my rookie year, we would have faced them in the playoffs, but when I was out there, United Center, that's when they was in their heyday, and you going in, and they playing the music and got the banners up with all the smoke. You like, damn, this shit looked just like this on TV when I was watching this shit, you know what I'm saying? And he was a phenomenal player then, but I think he was a little bit more dangerous when he was with the Wizards. He didn't have the athleticism that we were used to seeing MJ have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I'm with Bonzi. His angles were a little bit more sharp. You wasn't going to move him. He was a strong 2-3 guard. You wasn't going to just move him lightly. And his shot became more dangerous.
Give me your best Michael Jordan story.
Michael Jordan story. You guys remember Anthony Peeler?
Yes.
Okay, so
out of Missouri, right?
Out of Missouri.
Yeah.
So we got Chicago Bulls coming in town, and unfortunately, I got a sprained ankle, and so.
Did you say fortunately?
Unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, I enjoy guarding Mike because he was, the one thing I did with Mike is I never got him pissed off. He make a shot, you say, "Good shot, Mike." You don't talk trash to him so he can go off for 60. You try to kill him with kindness.
Yeah.
You don't try to talk trash to him. So they're getting off the bus. We're done with shoot around, and we're walking out, and MJ says, "B. Scott, what's going on?" I said, "What's up, MJ?" He said, "Man, I hear that you're not playing tonight." I said, "No, I sprained my ankle." He said, "Who's guarding me?" I said, "Anthony Peeler." He said, "Oh, 50. So I told Anthony Peeler, "Listen, MJ, he's probably going to go for about 50 tonight on you, so just don't piss him off, just be cool." He ended up with 54. So the man could do basically whatever he wanted to do on that basketball court.
How many times did you face the Bulls when they had Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman?
I don't know the number of games off the top of my head, but I'll tell you this. My career was 1990 to 2000. I was in the Eastern Conference for a good part of that. They won 6 titles during that time. I saw more than my share of those guys. And to this day, one of the most, intimidating things you faced as a player, they were the only team I ever played against in the NBA that pressed after free throws and got away with it. When you got Rodman, Pippen, Jordan, Ron Harper picking you up in the backcourt in a 1-2-1-1 trap with that kind of length, it was amazing to see point guards sort of just run up the floor and wave at you like, "Yeah, get it, legs. You got it. Bring it up." Because that first pass in the deep corner, and you turn and you got Rodman running at you with Scottie Pippen, and it was like an eclipse. So, yeah, I saw more than my share. And to this day, that's the greatest defensive team, that I ever played against. But I think that's the best defensive team I've ever seen to this day, were those mid-'90s Bulls teams.
But the best defender out of that group was who?
Scottie Pippen. I think Scottie Pippen is the best defensive player, maybe outside of Bill Russell. And again, a guy I didn't see play, but obviously different roles. Scottie Pippen is the best defender I've ever seen because he was not only the best individual defender, he was the best team help defender as well. The ground he covered, his IQ, his communication, his instincts, combined with 6'8", fingertips touching both sidelines, kind of a nightmare. You came off screens. I played against him. He'd switch. Jordan be on me. They'd switch on the baseline and come off a down screen. I knew I had enough separation to get a clean shot off because I'd done it a million times in my life. Catch, turn, pivot, turn, left shoulder, go to square up, and all of a sudden this arm would come out of nowhere. And now you're going up and you're having to make a pass in midair. that was the recover ability of Scottie Pippen. He was special, one of a kind in the way that he covered ground out there.
You ever make Jordan mad?
Yes, I did, because Jordan loved to gamble defensively. And so he would turn his head a lot.
Gamble.
Yeah, he did. He did. That's why I threw defensively in there, because there's another level of gambling Michael likes as well. But he was the kind of guy that, he'd be guarding me. And obviously I wasn't going to do a ton off the dribble against a guy like that. So he knew kind of I was going to spot up and wait. He loved to turn his head, and did he love to rake down in the post, try to go get Chris Webber, Juwan Howard, Rasheed Wallace, get those guys from behind when they'd make a move to the middle. I would relocate. Ball would come out, get some space. So, yes, I remember a game which I hit a couple of threes because he turned his head and left me. And I remember after the second or third one, running down the court and Michael saying to me on the way down the court, well, that's it for you. I'm not leaving you again. And it was pretty much like the equivalent of, I guess, the water company shutting your main off. Like, your water is shut off.
I've ever seen. I believe he's the best player I'll ever see. I believe he'll be the best player a million years from now. I really believe that. I believe he is the best ever.
Start with Michael Jordan. I mean, obviously, look, he's going to have some success against everybody. But as we watch some highlights here, take us through what's the approach? What are you trying to do? What are you thinking about with Michael Jordan across the way?
Well, first of all, I'm really nervous about these highlights because those are the three of the best players in the history of the game. But Michael Jordan, I did guard him a little bit when I was in Detroit. And, of course, I guarded Scottie a lot. But he was so efficient, was able to get what he wanted, and he did. Most of his domination was in that mid-post area.
Oh, watch out, you here.
He got the shot that he wanted, whether it was from mid-range.
Can we show some misses?
I mean,
look like Michael's working you over in them highlights.
They didn't get me. I got him on the other end, you know what I'm saying? But Michael was so great. And what I loved about Michael, he just was efficient. He got the shot he wanted. Whatever you threw at him, he had a counter. He really didn't have a weakness in the mid-post and in the mid-range.
I really like Michael Jordan, and he and I are friendly. Mm-hmm. And he never changes. He just doesn't change. He's the same guy all the time. And I still see him every once in a while. And this guy has done more spectacular things than any basketball player I've ever seen.
I agree.
I mean,
that's Jerry. That is saying a lot. I agree.
I've ever seen.
You've seen a lot. I know. I mean, just to go, like I said, we've worked backwards, obviously, from where he is now to where you were as a player. That speaks volumes. Especially, I mean, number of years with the Lakers, player. Visor, I mean.
You know, Terrell, the thing that people don't realize is some of the stuff he could do. He was the best defensive.
When did you know that Michael Jordan was better than you?
Well, I was, in his documentary, I say that, I was better than Michael Jordan for about 3 weeks. It took about 3 weeks for him to, because he always thought out the best, whether it was backgammon, chess, cards. He wanted to know who the best was. So I saw him, come in. And one of the things I think is missing is that you don't have these college coaches anymore that are ripping your egos away immediately. You're going to be a part of this team. And Michael bought into that. And with his talent, Coach Smith just elevated. I tease him a lot, though. He couldn't win another one without me. But I knew he was because he was a late bloomer, Dan. He really had a lot of talent, and then it just surged as he kept growing and getting older in the NBA.
But that's tough because you're the college player of the year, right?
Yeah. Along with Ralph Sampson. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So all of a sudden, Mike comes in, and you go, okay, and then all of a sudden you go, damn. Okay.
Yeah. I knew he saved us. I knew it was right around the ACC tournament. He started to really, make himself known against Virginia and some of those guys, Lee Raker and Jeff Lamb, those guys. Michael hit some big shots, okay? If you go back and look at that game, when you look at the Georgetown game, we were kind of, losing a little bit. He hit a big left-hand shot over Ewing, one from the corner. And then, of course, the big shot he hit in Georgetown. I had to be the decoy, of course. That's why he was wide open. But yeah, I knew he had it, man.
The
Bulls are on the verge not just of a championship, but of the completion of one of the golden seasons in the history of American team sports.
But they haven't been able to capitalize on that. Gary Payton has struggled offensively.
Oh, Michael Jordan with the high arcing jump shot. Jordan, yes.
Inside, outside, everywhere. He is really feeling it right now like nobody can cover him.
Off the mark, badly missed. Rebound Robin, streaking out Jordan. Goes to the hole, tap on his backside. Jordan climbs into the air and jams it down with the right hand.
Rebounded by Rodman. Jordan behind the back to beat Gronkowski. That goes right at Wingate. What a move by Michael Jordan.
Able in midair to collect himself, go behind his back. A spectacular Michael Jordan play.
Jordan. 7-year-old Jeffrey Jordan holding up the Happy Father's Day Dad sign. We're in the final second. The Chicago Bulls have won the 96 NBA championship. An emotional moment for Michael Jordan. I would think there is a tie-in with his late dad on this Father's Day.
I can't even put it in words. On Father's Day, what it means to me. I know he's watching. To my wife and to my kids, and to my mother, my brothers and sisters. This is for Daddy. I'm very happy for him.
The motivation that I had is that we've been to the finals 4 times and we're 4 straight. This is the 5th time we're going to make it 5 out of 5.
We're down to 5. Jordan putting moves on Russell. We're down to 2. Now to 1. Here's Jordan. Yes! It is all over. The Chicago Bulls have won at the buzzer in Game 1 of the best of 7 on the jump shot by Michael Jordan.
At 3:30 this morning, Michael Jordan woke up with flu-like symptoms. I talked to him. I said, how do you feel? He said, I really feel horrible. But his history in games where he's either been hurt or sick has been bad news for the opponent.
And the steal by Jordan. Putting behind the back on Russell. He turned it around and fed it to Pippen. And home by Jordan. What a play by Michael Jordan.
Getting out and flying.
Jordan fires for yes. And he's tied the game. And you can see how exhausted Michael Jordan is.
He won't even take the Gatorade. He doesn't want to waste any energy. No high fives, no lifting water to his mouth. He is exhausted.
Pippen backing Hornacek. Here's Jordan. Yes! Michael Jordan from straight away. A courageous, classic performance by the flu-ridden Michael Jordan. A performance that I think will go down as one of the greatest of his career because of the situation. It is Michael Jordan time. Checks the clock. 5 on the 24. Here's Jordan. Did not have the shot. Have won their 5th championship in the last 7 years.
He is just one of those players that just didn't have any weaknesses in his game. You know, when he first probably came in the league, you know, everybody talking about he wasn't a good outside shooter. He became a good outside shooter. Everybody talked about he couldn't shoot the 3-point shot. He became a decent 3-point shooter. You know, down low, didn't have a post-up game, develop a post-up game. They say he wasn't truly a good ball handler. Yeah. Became a good ball handler. Defensively, he was just incredible on that end of the court. And so, but he's probably, I think what separated him from everybody is that his mind. You know what I mean? He was probably one of the most, I want to say, well, not brilliant, but probably one of the most intellectual basketball players that I didn't play against. You know, he's always thinking the game. He's always thinking ahead, and you could just see. And his mind is always working. You know what I mean? And I would say this: he probably was the best fundamentally sound superstar that I didn't played against. You know, from the standpoint of he didn't do a lot. He just got the spots on the court. You know what I mean? It's just like a surgeon. He just get over here. I want to get a shot there. Pump fake you, take 1 or 2 dribbles, I'm gonna get to that spot. Right. You know what I mean? And so you never see him, hardly see him take a bad shot.
And Smitty can attest to this. We had to guard him, 35 to 40 minutes a game. And he was the Shaq of shooting guards because there's no way you were going to move him off the post. He was cat quick, and on top of that, he was going to embarrass you in front of your family and friends. So having said all that, if I'm starting a franchise, not only do I want to put people in the seats, because Michael will do that, but his skill level was so far ahead of everyone else, I'm going with MJ.
You just mentioned MJ, and MJ has, often called you like one of the toughest shooting guards he had to defend.
Right.
What was it like going against MJ?
First time seeing, I watched him in college, but I was in JUCO at the time, but first time actually seeing him live in front of you, he was cat quick. And
really?
Yeah.
At that size?
He was cat quick, and he had the ability to take one dribble and you try to get there, and he was in the air already. So, you had to do a lot of freaking film work on him because he had every move.
Right.
And he can get by you with one step, and once he get by you, he's taking flight. But one thing, he was gonna come at you each and every night. And Kobe had that same thing that, and I think all the great ones have it, that they're thirsty to score. Like, it's like, I gotta get it. I gotta get that bucket. And the defenders be like, God damn, this dude is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta have that mentality.
There's been a lot of debate about, who's the greatest of all time. Obviously, a lot of people, they just overlook what Kobe has done. And, obviously, LeBron is great in his own right. Do you consider MJ the GOAT?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Of course, yeah. I went up against him each and every night.
Right.
You know what I mean? So.
And then you played with Kobe at the Lakers.
I played with Kobe, and Kobe was, he's in that level, no question about it. But Mike changed the game in so many other ways, not only on the court.
I started watching NBA basketball, I would say, around 1992. And Jordan was the first player that I even had heard of. He was the first player that I actually saw play on an NBA team. And for me, it's super hard to even explain how much that human being means to me, because he had such a huge impact on my life. And I'm not only talking about basketball, but just the mindset of working hard, getting better, always improving, never being satisfied. I really took that to heart. What I saw of Michael Jordan in the basketball court, it helped me become a more successful person in life. And it started with watching Jordan games, buying Jordan's VHS tapes. For example, Michael Jordan Airtime is still my favorite NBA VHS tape of all time. It turned into buying NBA trading cards like crazy. Like back in the days when I was a kid, I used to get money to buy breakfast in school, but I never bought breakfast. I always went to a shop, bought trading cards, starving in school, but it was totally worth it. Studying Michael Jordan's game, like that was the beautiful thing. When you didn't have internet, what I had to do was I always took the remote control on my VCR player, always rewind it, look at his footwork, and went right to the gym, or if no gym was accessible, went to the court outside and tried to emulate what I saw. All those Jordan moves, yes, I could never do them as well as MJ, obviously, but some moves I was able to pull off even in games successfully. And what I always understood was never use those moves just because they're beautiful and because they look nice, no, but because they can actually be a very good weapon to score, because nobody expects those moves. So I always understood, like from Jordan, from Larry Bird, from Magic Johnson, never do those moves just for the sake of being beautiful, but use them as a weapon, use them efficiently. So yeah, that was also another thing. Then another thing which I owe to Jordan for my entire life is all the beautiful childhood memories. Like the beautiful feeling that I always had in my heart when I knew, you could see a Chicago Bulls game, you could see Jordan play, and the finals. I was man so much, and that's also the reason why probably I have this channel. Probably because I played basketball for my entire youth. Probably because I fell in love with everything that the NBA stood for back in the days. So Jordan not only was my guy, is my guy, and will always be my guy. And that's why you see so many Jordan episodes.